You're asking this question because you're looking at a world that I said early in the year, even since last year, I said it's going to be a long, hot summer. And look at the ingredients. Look at it. The racial divide. Storm of kids rushing into the convenience stores, stealing cell phones and everything. We got the riots going on. We got the war going on, the demonstrations going on. It's a lot. At some point, we all need to be in concert and throw our hands up and let our hearts cry out. Can we all just get along? There's wisdom in this statement. Whew. I found a video where this individual, DAHBOO77, he talks about the location where the BB struck. Oh, yeah. And in this, he says, you know what? Iran filled it with dirt, which became a buffer or a cushion so that the nuclear aspect, for lack of a better way to put it, was not damaged as much. And people began to evacuate. I want you to look at this here, what he's presenting here. And I will put this in the description. Listen to this carefully.
Here an event. Right now, Trump is trying to come out and say that it was a spectacular military success, that they hit the bully Iran, and that the facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. That's what Trump said. Satellite imagery shows something else. They show that Iran evacuated these sites days before. You can see here the loads of vehicles taking stuff out of these sites, and then they packed the tunnels full of dirt. And what this did is it took most of the brunt of the explosion, and they say the bases above ground could be rebuilt and that they will be back in operation, that this did not dismantle them. They say that 6 MOPs were dropped and 30 tomahawks striking these different areas.
Suppose the man is right. Have you heard this? Suppose he's right. This is why I went on record the other day when I talked about strategy. When Donald Trump said, I'm going to make up my mind to go in 14 days. People, folks make a move with a threat, okay? Unless they going to make a move on you as soon as you open your mouth, okay? Like, pow. So prevention is everything. You know, as a father or a mother or a parent, you're going to protect your pride and joy, your children, your home. You understand? Iran is going to protect their crown jewels, so to speak. Just think about what I'm saying. You can't have a war running your mouth telling somebody what you gonna do. I'm just keeping it real. So why did Trump get out there? And yeah, like I said, he gave us a Kobe Bryant / Michael Jordan head fake, and 4 days later he bombed him. But the fact that you was out there warning, if this guy's right, they put a plan in place. Nah, didn't hurt me that bad. I got the Band-Aid on. I'm gonna come back on you now. I guess Trump didn't read the Nike commercial from 20 years ago. Just do it. We at a crazy moment, baby. Can we just get along? Now check this out. We got the oil situation to deal with. A lot of folks living check to check or under the check, or 2 paychecks from poverty, of getting thrown out, being homeless. Now you got to think about the Strait of Hormuz. Listen.
Exactly what the Strait of Hormuz is, what it means. We're going to be joined right now by John Conrad V, CEO of GCaptain, a maritime expert. Thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. Give us a sense, what exactly is the Strait of Hormuz and how vital is it to this passageway there?
Strait of Hormuz. Oil runs through there, people.
Well, a strait is where the waterway pinches, so all the ships that come from one region and area have to squeeze through a strait to get through. The biggest straits in the world are the Singapore Straits, the Taiwan Strait gets in the news, the Bab el-Mandeb going into the Red Sea, which the Houthis partially control. And then there are straits closer to home. The Florida Strait is between Florida and Cuba. But this is very critical because such a large percentage of oil and natural gas worldwide is in the Persian Gulf. And all the ships going to the Persian Gulf, the tankers, the gas carriers, and also the container ships supplying places like Kuwait and Saudi Arabia have to squeeze.
How much of a U.S. oil comes through the Strait of Hormuz?
According to CBS News, in the U.S., the agency reported that oil imports through the Strait of Hormuz only accounted for 7% of the country's total oil imports and 2% of its liquid petroleum consumption over the same period.
About 12% of the total petroleum imports and 12% of U.S. crude oil imports from Persia. This is 2022. There's a possibility of people look at it like this. You got the tariffs going on. You got the other war going on. Now you got this war going on. You can't keep having all these squeezes. And at some point, your economy don't implode. It's gradualism. This thing being done on purpose, baby. These devils, I'm tired of them. Now look at this here. The lady who announced it, she's in maroon like purple, but hey, I don't know. Breaking, China condemns U.S. strikes on Iran's nuclear sites at emergency UN Security Council meeting. Yeah, they just had a meeting, y'all. Can't we all just get along? Listen to what China had to say about what Trump did.
Thank you, President. I thank you for convening this emergency open meeting. I also thank Secretary General Guterres for his statement, and ASD Yangcha and Director General Grossi for their briefings. Yesterday, the United States conducted the strikes on 3 Iranian nuclear facilities in Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. China strongly condemns the U.S. attacks on Iran and the bombing of nuclear facilities under the safeguards of the IAEA. The actions of the United States seriously violate the purposes and principles of the UN Charter and international law, as well as Iran's sovereignty, purity, and territorial integrity. It has exacerbated tensions in the Middle East and dealt a heavy blow to the international nuclear non-proliferation regime. The international community must uphold justice and make concrete efforts to cool down the situation and
So the UN, and I'm sure NATO and other world leaders, they're going to galvanize and try to make this thing civil. Now, I brought a stat that I forgot the other day. How much oil does China get from Iran? Woo. China imports this, wow. This accounts for a large portion of Iran's total oil exports, potentially reaching 90%. Are you kidding me? China buys 90% of Iran's oil. While people, look, people, like I just told you 5 minutes ago, you're going to protect your crown's jewel, your golden jewel. When Donald Trump is out here talking this smack, and everybody else at that level, you got to consider the relationships that these people have. Maybe we should go to China. Maybe we should go to Saudi Arabia. Maybe we should get everybody involved before we throw another bomb. Because we got too much at stake. Not just America, but the whole blank world. If you get 90%, if you buy 90% of the oil from China, you're going to protect your interests, period. I don't think America wants none of that. We're the greatest fighting force in the world. You can't take on the whole damn world, Trump. You can't do it. Can we all just get along? You can't. It's a different day. This ain't Vietnam. It's a whole different level. It's people. We got to figure this thing out. That's why I called on the ministers the other day. The greatest power in the world is prayer. The greatest power. We need leadership that's relevant right away. Oh, Pearson Budge's prophecy. Well, I'm looking to endure. Because in a week, I might start reporting on some of these sales hitting some main places in America. Then you're going to wake up and say, hey, let me tell my minister to get involved and go down. We all go down to Washington, D.C. and tell Trump to get his act together right now. Because I don't think people around the world want to see bombs. I really don't think people wake up with that. I think demons do. I know that's what they do. But I don't want demons reducing our mentality to be like that on a daily basis. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Let me go down this thing a little bit deeper. I just wanted y'all to see this thing. Now, demonstrate in New York. It hit the fan today in other cities, but this is just New York. People are they're retaliating in relation to what Trump did. This is out of New York, and you're going to see these demonstrations. And I'll probably be covering them next week, downtown Chicago. Maybe I'll drive to Michigan and Minnesota. Who knows where I'll go? I'll check out the demonstrations. Check it out.
So-called no war in Iran protest in Times Square. Maya, what's it like?
Hey, Holly, right now there's a lot of energy here. Tons of folks out in Times Square. Take a look. These people I've been speaking to say they are against the escalation they say that happened overnight in Iran. Stop the war on Iran is really what we are reading on so many of these signs. There are speakers out here saying that they disagree with the Trump administration's decision to drop those bombs last night. A lot of the folks out here in New York were also at the No Kings protest last week. The city is preparing for all this. We have a tweet from Governor Kathy Hochul. She says, my top priority is the safety of all New Yorkers. I am receiving intelligence briefings and closely monitoring the evolving situation in Iran alongside federal local partners. Also, the NYPD, they are saying they're monitoring this situation. They have, out of abundance of caution, been deploying a...
Everything's in an uproar. Everything. It comes down to this, baby. It comes down to this. It's coming down to this. Rodney King is speaking from the grave. Now, let me show you guys something here. I pulled up, I saw my man, Nick Shirley. You know, I need to call him so we can interview because I want to find out his take, national, international. But he's been interviewing a lot of people. I want to know how you feel in relation to the two people that he's interviewing here. And then I'm going to show you how he got psychologically roughed up on the next one, okay? Watch this here.
Involved in the war with Israel and Iran. I think it's a bad idea. World War III is going to start in the Middle East, and we're just going to get involved in World War III at this point.
Do you think if the United States does get into the war, it will cause a world war?
Oh, absolutely. It puts us up against either the Russians or Israel. There's no choosing sides in this that doesn't negatively impact the American people.
And why do you think the United States is so involved with Israel?
Money. It's all money. It's all business. It's all oligarchy at this point.
And do you trust Donald Trump's judgment?
No, not at all. Not at all. He's not looking out for us. He's looking out for the people that line his pocket. At the end of the day, that's it.
What would you like to see happen here? Should the United States go after Iran's nuclear weapon, or do you think they should just leave it in the hands of Israel?
And I think we should be hands off. I'm not saying Israel's going to do the right thing, but I don't think we should be the ones to do it. It's not our job.
And if Iran is saying death to America, death to Israel, should the United States get in?
They're not coming over here. They're not killing us. Like, they're saying they can talk all they want, but they're not here. They're not on the ground in the United States, and they're not hurting us. So,
what do you think? What do you think? Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but look, there are a segment of people in America like, look, we can't keep putting our hands in other people's stuff. Oh, Pearson, but they're our ally. I get it. But I've said before, maybe if we just stop funding, somebody will figure it out. Somebody will figure it out. A few good men and women will figure it out. But if you keep funding it, you keep dropping bombs, you keep with the rhetoric, you keep feeding it, it keeps growing. Can we all just get along? Now, like I said, I predicted a long, hot summer. I got to give my hats off to this guy because he's in a very dangerous situation. He asked a simple question about the immigration issue, and he covered a protest. I'll put this part in the description. I'm not picking on the brother, but the brother cold snapped on him with the race thing. This is where the powers want us to be. All the things that we have ever hated, disliked, disagreed with, couldn't control, didn't have the power to fix. And as we go through our economic woes and we see our friends and our family, our neighborhoods going to hell, we get this little white boy out here and we act a fool with him like he's the problem just because he white. Check it out.
Get y'all out here and get it back to the Native Americans. How would you like that? Now your interview. How would you like that? How about we purge this shit for the Native Americans, give it back to the original people of this land?
Were you born here?
Who? You. My people are Native Americans, yes. My people are Native Americans, yes. They were mixed with black people. Yes, I got a 100% Native American grandmother. What about you?
So we're on the same
Are
page.
you from here? No, you're not from here. You're not from here.
Oh, yeah.
You're not from here. You're European, right?
I'm here.
How about we purge this for the Native Americans? Are you with that?
Am I with that?
Are you with that?
Current day?
Huh?
Current day?
Are you with that?
To give everything back to Native Americans?
Yeah, we give it back to the Native Americans. You with that?
Go for it.
It's our land back.
See what happens.
You with that?
Sure, let's go for it. Let's see what happens.
You look dirty, bro.
I do look
You look
dirty.
dirty, bro. You look dirty, bro.
I look
You
dirty.
look dirty. Your hair and all that shit, your body. Your clothes will look like whatever. Your body, your face look dirty, mother. You look stinky, nigga. Slime ball. Look at this dirty ass nigga. Dirty mother. Grease ball. Oh, yeah, he gonna give me all day. This ragged, please dirty, come on, put it on your face.
It is on my
Dirty,
face.
he need to take a shower, cut his hair. You know what I mean?
I couldn't say.
This is where we're at, America. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. And I'm not picking on him just because he's black, because I'm black. But this is what happens when you are hurt, you're in pain, you don't think nobody respects you, you act like you ain't got no power. And the powers have created these situations since the beginning of our country, July 4th, 1776. It took me a while to figure out America was not built for any of us. These secret societies figured out they would etch out and carve out a land. That's why when you go up in a plane and you look down, you see how the pyramids are laid out, how the foundations are set up. You see Ra, how he decorated everything, especially in Washington, D.C. Do you understand? They're telling you what people, at some point, we're going to have to get it and stop beating the hell up out of each other. America has beat up on poor whites, women. White men been taking a beating for a while the last 15 years. Y'all been blamed. Look, I'm going to keep it real. The last 15 years, white men have been blamed for everything. Black folks have been blamed for a whole lot. For generations. Hispanics are labeled a certain way. You name the group who ain't been through nothing in America. The powers run the media. They tiptoe through the tulips and they pluck out what they're going to use for the moment. And this is what I mean by a hot, long summer. I'm defining it for you. Be careful. But hats off to Nick. He handled it very well. But this is crazy. Like Nick said, I came out of my mother in America. I was born in America. He ain't got nothing to do with slavery. And all white folks didn't own slaves. And if you do your history, like I said before, blacks owned slaves too. It wasn't about the color thing at many ports in the world. It was about classism. That's what Moses was dealing with Pharaoh about. Let my people go. My people. They're at a certain status. They're in a certain class. And you making them slaves. Let my people go. They're at a certain class. They're at a certain station in life. Let them go. So they can do what? Live. Be fruitful and multiply. And hear from God. Say prayers. And not worship the sun god, Ra. And the snake that was on Pharaoh's head. But nobody teaches that in church. That's what the essence of it was about. I know the slavery, a lot of it is black versus white and other cultures. I get that. But I'm trying to get you to understand. At the end of the day, if we don't get along, Revelation, the book of Revelation says, you will not be able to buy or sell without the mark. That's a social class, baby. That's your social class. And guess what? They're going to make you worship this sun god. That's where they're going. And they're brewing it through war, economics, and confusion. And we become the hands. We become the hands and the feet and the mouth of this foolishness. And that brother need to leave this white boy alone. Leave him alone. He ain't done nothing to you. He just doing his job. Say what you got to say and keep it moving. But again, a lot of black people, and I'm going to speak for some of us, we got a lot of pent up anger in us. But you know what? Take your butt to bed on time. Get up in the morning. Say your prayers. Go get a job. Do you. And I bet in less than 3 to 5 years, you'll find out your purpose. And you can make this American dream work. And you can get the hell out of somebody else's face about what the hell happened 400 years ago. Your best move